Well, this Friday night concludes with a big statement win by 10-point underdogs being the Washington Huskies. My name is Colin Bashnagel. You can find me on TikTok at Bash the CFB Show. I didn't make any TikToks tonight. I'm going to make them tomorrow. I wanted to prioritize YouTube tonight because I don't do that often enough on reactions, and I think this week I'm going to try it out. Now we're going to talk about this Liberty New Mexico State game to start off with, just to get this out of the way. Not to just get it out of the way, but to talk about it, but also talk about the headline more. So first off, the most exciting part about this was the way that Caden Salter played tonight. He was tremendously effective throwing the ball, 20 for 25, 319 yards, and 97.6 QBR. He also had 12 carries for a buck 65, and it was interesting because for a while in this game, they couldn't get the run game going. Quentin Cooley only had 71 yards rushing. Billy Lucas, the backup running back, ended up having 86 yards rushing, though Quentin Cooley ended up finding Pater 3 times in this ball game. Overall, though, it was CJ Daniels who absolutely destroyed this New Mexico State team with big play after big play. But this was a blow for blow type of game, back and forth all day long. And Diego Pavia ends up getting hurt with 4 total touchdowns in this game, had 3 passing on 11 for 16 night, 188 yards. That brings in the gunslinger freshman Blaze Berlowitz. And he played pretty well, all things considered, in that situation. And you saw a little bit of Eli Stowers come in and play a little bit of like Wildcat quarterback. But like overall, Trent Hudson, he had a really good day. Jonathan Brady made a bunch of big time plays. But the interceptions, the 2 that concluded this game, the one incompletion at the end of the game on 4th down, is what really sealed it up for New Mexico State. I was hoping they would score that late touchdown to be able to cover, make me correct, but I'm incorrect with this one. And Liberty gets to a 13-0 football season, and I think the campaign needs to start for Liberty to potentially be in the New Year's Six Bowl. They're going to be eyes glued to the TV on how impressive Tulane looks, but in my opinion, Liberty's undefeated. I get their schedule hasn't been as tough. They're more exciting than Tulane is. Now, Tulane was there last year, so if Tulane wins, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. They're going to be in, and I very well know that. But I think more people might start talking about Liberty with the 49 that they hung up on a very good, red-hot New Mexico State team, going undefeated, beating New Mexico State twice in the last few weeks. Liberty has an argument to be that team, that G5 representative in the New Year's Six. Congratulations to Jamie Chadwell, first year at Liberty, 13-0 year with Caden Salter. Tremendously done. Now, we talk about the game of the week. This was the biggest game of the week. It was a game that was going to determine the entire playoff picture. And what I thought was an unlikely result was Washington winning the game outright, and they did. So now if you're an Ohio State fan, you're looking up like, oh, that's one less team that we have to worry about then, because I had already spelled out to you in a close game, Washington probably gets a nod over Ohio State. So out of the many different steps that Ohio State needed to, they're going to leave this Friday night, Ohio State fans are, and they're going to have just as much hope as they had in the beginning that they had a chance to make the playoff. Because if Oregon wins this game in a close one, this does not go Ohio State's way as far as making the playoff. It still probably won't. They still need a ton to happen, including a massive upset with Oklahoma State beating Texas. But just one domino falls for them. This was a game that basically had everything. So I did not like the fact that Oregon refused to commit to the run, especially with Bucky Irving. They only ran Jordan James and Bucky Irving a combined 14 times and threw the ball 34 times. But they got the pass game going a little bit at times. However, most of that was the after the catch by Tej Johnson and after the catch a little bit by Troy Franklin and getting the tight ends involved as well. Then they had that big play to Trayshawn Holden to kind of cap things off. He showed up. for really the first time in a big moment this year for Oregon, albeit not many big moments for Oregon this year. But this was Bo Nix's chance to win the Heisman, and I think he lost it tonight, and I think it's a two-man race. You can look to that guy, number 9, the left-handed gunslinger, Michael Penix Jr., 27-39, 319 yards. He had a touchdown and a pick, but he was also tough as a runner on the ground. He had -4 yards with a couple of sacks, but he made a couple of big runs on that game-clinching drive, and that was Michael Penix's drive at the end of the day, even if Dylan Johnson finished it off. And speaking of Dylan Johnson, playing basically on 1 foot, 28 carries, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Amazing. And he's got a month to get healthy now for the college football playoff. And that's no doubt where Oregon's going to, or Washington, pardon me, is going to end up. And this is a really good Washington team that seems to, their defense is peaking at the right time. Their offense looks just as effective as ever. And I'm going to catch a lot of slack for this from Ohio State fans and maybe some other fan bases. I don't know. This is undoubtedly the best group of wide receivers, rather, that the nation has seen, and it's not even close. You look at the depth that Washington has here at wide receiver. You can start with talking about Jeremy Bernard, who's a guy that comes out of the slot, a little bit of a gadget guy, makes big receptions, but also had that touchdown. He had two touchdowns or a touchdown today. He had that pop pass reception for a touchdown. You can talk about him. You can talk about Giles Jackson, the former Michigan transfer. But then you talk about those top 3, and those top 3 are Jalen McMillan, Rome Odunze, and Jalen Polk, who all had moments in this game. And they were all tremendous blocking as well, something that Ohio State doesn't have. When's the last time you saw Julian Fleming, Emeka Egbuka, and Marvin Harrison Jr. all go over 50 yards in a big game? I don't think you've ever seen it. Pretty close against Georgia, I guess. But notice how that Georgia game, they were really close, this close to winning a national championship. I think this is the most consistent and the best wide receiver room in America, headlined by Rome Odunze. They get Jalen McMillan back healthy, who's not been healthy all year. He was leading receiver on the 99 receptions for 131. And then Jalen Polk, he's had some struggles, but for the most part, this guy is just tremendous when it comes to contested catches. You want to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a Marvin Harrison Jr., okay? He is a junior version of that. He's got a similar skill set, maybe better route running, gets open a little bit better, but contested catch, you throw it up to him just like Marv, he's likely coming down with it. Braylon Trice in this defense is also playing so much better, and I just want to give a lot of props to Kalen DeBoer and this staff for being able to turn it around. And also, shout out here, Kalen DeBoer's offense with Ryan Grubb calling the shots, calling the plays, but Kalen DeBoer with install and identity. It's creative, and it's the most fun offense in America to watch by far. And I think, including me, I'm guilty of it. Too many people forgot about what Washington is capable of on offense, and too many people didn't realize how tough this team and how gritty this team would be in a tough game. Pardon the voice. It's a little bit parched right now or a little bit scratchy, but I just wanted to come on here, make this quick video. Congratulations, Washington, for winning the Pac-12, punching your ticket into the college football playoff for the second time. And then congratulations to the Liberty Flames. You're going to be sitting at home the next couple of days, hoping to get a shot at a New Year's Six Bowl on national television with all eyes on you. And if you do get all eyes on you, I know Liberty is going to bring a super exciting product to the table. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to my bad voice. It should be better in the morning. I hope to talk to you guys in the morning or in the afternoon after the noon games. So like I said, thank you guys. Check me out on TikTok.